Discomfort is part of the boundary setting. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It comes from childhood. You are likely more loved or more appreciated when you are helpful, when you are quiet, when you are high achieving. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be valuable. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bessie Minyori. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, still welcome. You know how we do. We talk about everything: investing, saving, ETFs, treasury bonds, money market funds, budgeting. So if those are things that you're interested in, please subscribe. We are doing very good and I'm very happy. So grateful for all of you. I bless each of you and I don't take it for granted. Anyway, this video is for you if you grew up being the responsible one, the emotional support system, the second parent. Yeah. I know you know what I mean. Mostly this goes for firstborn daughters, but it can also go for secondborn daughters, firstborn sons, whatever. Just take what you can from this video and yeah, send it to the other firstborn person you feel like they need it. So what does it usually mean being the firstborn daughter? Most times it means being parentified. So being parentified looks like you being the second parent, you handling your parents' responsibilities. Sometimes you're the responsible one for your siblings. They're younger. You know how to cook for them. You know how to change their diapers. Like, you've been parentified. You know how to handle their emotions. Sometimes they come crying and you have to soothe them. So most firstborn daughters have actually been parentified. And most times these usually graduates into you being the one now taking care of your siblings' school fees. Maybe you're here abroad, now you're the one taking care of their school fees, you're the one taking care of their pocket money. It's like basically they don't got a parent. Sometimes it can get really bad because you will find yourself not building yourself because you're taking care of kids that are not even yours. And there is dignity in giving, don't get me wrong, but I'm also an advocate for giving from a full cup. Don't give from an empty cup. And also you need to set boundaries so that you can actually grow yourself, because that's all you're trying to do. You're an individual with your own goals and dreams. So sometimes you might find some clients even send me like DMs and tell me like, I've not been able to save anything because, you know, I'm sending all the money at home. I am like the one taking care of my family. I'm the one that my parents don't work, my siblings don't work. So basically I'm the one providing. I'm the sole provider. And sometimes you also find as a child, you did not really get enough time as a child. You really had to grow up so fast and you've always been praised for being the strong one. Like, no one really thinks that you are going through a rough time. And so they just assume that you don't need support and they just assume that you can handle it. I mean, you're handling it so well, because most time, even us as firstborn daughters, we don't really show when we need help. So we end up doing so much and we end up becoming so hyper independent that now people just assume that we don't need help. Most times, even like we feel guilty for choosing ourselves. And I've seen it even here, like you're abroad and you got lucky maybe to come here, or your family invested in you to come here, but now you're feeling guilty because the others are not doing as well financially, and now you feel the need to be like the support. So guys, this is a very sensitive topic, and just take what you can and come with an open mind. As usual, I like people that come with an open mind to my videos. Think for yourself, take what you can and leave the rest, and let's get right into it. Black tax can really have you on chokehold. It will really have you like broke and not even investing in yourself. So this is how you heal and prioritize yourself if you've been struggling with anything I've mentioned above. So this is how you heal, because it's not like a one-time thing. It's things that you need to do consistently. The first thing is stop confusing responsibility with identity, because now you are the fixer. You have taken the identity of the fixer as your own identity, as your own responsibility. So you're like, oh my God, if I don't help, everything is going to go to hell. Everything is going to get messed up. I'm like, sometimes just breathe through it, because sometimes like it's not even an emergency, but because they know you have some disposable cash here and there, they're just like, guy, we really need this, please just come through for us. And now because you have been used so much to coming through, even when you were a kid, you've just been coming to fix, you end up giving even when you're not in a position to. Sometimes you're the emotional regulator or the therapist. Like, people trauma dump, or people just dump their stuff on you and they don't even ask you how you're doing. Especially if you're abroad, people just assume it's a bed of roses. People don't even ask you how you're doing, because they just assume like, she's balling, she's good, but trust me, here we go through so much, and sometimes we just need people at home to be like, check on you, like, are you okay, how are you? And we need to also be validated, because sometimes you tell someone you're going through something and they'll be like, at least you're abroad, at least you have a job. I know, but I'm still struggling. Can you at least validate that? You know what I mean? So sometimes it's good to give a listening ear to your loved ones, but trust me, sometimes the misery can seep into you and it might even drown you, especially if you add on to the mental health issues that we already experience here as international students. So guys, please check on yourself, preserve yourself, put some respect on your time. Sometimes, like, you don't even need to pick that call, especially if it requires so much emotional load. Maybe you're not in a position to offer that emotional assistance and maybe it's going to drain you. So it's good, it's okay to call back when you're doing better. Also, we are used to being the family safety net because now you're the one abroad, you're the one balling. You are the family safety net. If you don't solve this, there's no other way we're going to solve it. So most people here abroad, we have the pressure of like being the one abroad, especially if you're the only one. And now it gets worse if you're paying school fees, if you're paying all the bills, and now people want you to fund their giant projects. Sometimes it can get too much. So please, guys, learn that the fixer, don't take the fixer, the emotional regulator, the safety net as your identity. Sometimes let people figure it out by themselves, you know? The other thing is learn how to sit with guilt without obeying it, because firstborn daughters, we feel guilty even while resting, even while spending on ourselves, even while saying no, even while spending a day in bed, even while not picking that shift, even when you're choosing softness. Practical example is sometimes people might see you're out and maybe you're on a trip, and because now you've posted nice pictures, people just assume, you know, you're balling. And now you, because you don't want them to feel bad, you don't even want to post the pictures anymore. You don't even want to post the pictures anymore because you're like, guy, they'll see and they'll assume that I have money and they'll assume that I'm not giving them money. They might not understand that you might have saved for months for that trip. Or not. Maybe you didn't even save for months. Maybe you just decided to go on a trip because you had the money and you went, and now you're feeling guilty. Just breathe through the guilt. Just because you're feeling guilty doesn't mean that it's wrong. And also, at the end of the day, honestly, as much as we want to save everyone, not everyone is going to be saved. Like, I'm here to give you the truth, like, I'm holding your hand though. So adopt this. Do one small thing weekly that makes you feel selfish and don't explain it. Have a day in, order some food in, sleep in, don't take that extra shift. Do something just because you like it, not for productivity, not for goals, not for content. Don't answer that call that is so emotionally draining. Don't fix. Sometimes just let things fall into shit. Like, sometimes, honestly, you can't really help it. Saying no, e.g., honestly, I just can't manage to do that this week or this time. Don't over explain, because, even us as firstborn daughters, we over explain things because we overcompensate, we overshare, we just be overachieving because that's our identity. Just go dress up and apply makeup for no reason, just because it feels good. Like, don't tie everything into productivity or into goals or into content or into achieving. That's how you start rewiring your brain. The other thing is you need to rebuild your relationship with rest and pleasure. Many firstborn daughters have been guilt-tripped when we rest. Most firstborn daughters only rest when everyone is rested, when everything is done, when everyone is okay. Now that's when we can rest. No. Healing means resting before burnout. Don't wait for your body to tell you I can't do this anymore for you to rest. Fill in your cup before it drains. You don't wait for your car to run out of petrol and now that's when you're looking for a petrol. You don't wait for your phone to die so that you can find a charger. Charge yourself before you burn out. And also enjoy it. Don't be resting and now you're feeling guilty. And let's stop romanticizing struggling, because guys, there's no trophy for struggling, honestly. It would help if everything just went well, but sometimes we have to struggle. I don't know. I don't think struggle is fine, because struggle honestly messes up your brain. I don't even want to talk about that. But anyway, let's stop romanticizing struggle and being like, I have to work so hard to get these things. Sometimes you get things easily. Sometimes people want to serve you. Sometimes people want to cook for you. Sometimes people want to bring you flowers. Accept it. Okay? Rebuild your relationship with rest and pleasure. And I feel like that is something we need to do, because even at work, I meet so many tired people, and you don't even need to be tired. It's because you're overdoing, like you're offering to help even when it's not your duty. You don't want to sit because you want to be seen like you're busy. I hate that. So guys, just chill. Imagine. The other thing that totally changed my life, and I know it's going to change your life too, is separate your worth from sacrifice. Can I repeat for the people at the back? Separate your worth from sacrifice. Firstborn daughters, oh my god. We did a group chat, because we have been taught that we're only valuable when we are high achieving, when we're overgiving, when we're overcompensating. And this shows even in our relationships, in our jobs, in our interactions. And I want to tell you this: you are valuable. Either way, you are valuable, whether you're achieving high or not. You are valuable just by being a human being. Okay, you are valuable. Stop seeking for validation, stop performing, stop overdoing. Even in relationships, like you're trying to show this person, oh my god, I love you so much, just see, just accept. Stop. Like, actually, the people who are well rested are even appreciated more because they are well rested in their power. But now, if you're always giving, always overdoing, always performing to prove your value, people will now use you, squeeze you to the last drop because you don't even have boundaries for yourself. So, guys, separate your worth from sacrifice. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to be valuable. I hope this gets into your head. And I hope this saves you from the shackles of seeking validation because this is a thing that most women really struggle with because, like we've been taught, we must be valuable in a way. If you're a wife, you need to know how to do chores, you need to know how to raise kids, you need to, like, why would I marry you if you're not cooking and cleaning? Like such things. So, guys, you are valuable just by being human. You don't need to prove all these things that we are trying to prove. Because it comes from childhood. You are likely more loved or more appreciated when you are helpful, when you are quiet, when you are high achieving. I actually remember when I was in class 4, I was walking home one day and I had become position 5. I remember very well. I always used to become number 1 and 2, but there had been like some family struggles that affected my education. And I remember walking down home and I was like, if only I had come to number 1 or 2, like I know my parent would appreciate me better. And it's not because that they don't used to appreciate me, it's just the conditioning, especially in school. Like, you need to perform well if you are to have a good life. If you don't get an A, you're basically going to be a useless person. Even our parents, they're like, how many marks did you get? What number were you? Sometimes they don't even want to know about the marks, they just want to know about the position. I'm like, actually, it's called higher marks than last time when I was number 1. We were conditioned to get our value from overachieving, overgiving, overcompensating. So, guys, please just sit down and be like, I am valuable and I don't need to suffer to be valuable. And this goes for everyone, whether you're a firstborn, lastborn, you don't need to suffer to be valuable. You are valuable just as you are, okay? The other thing you need to do is build boundaries that don't need justification. Like I said, we over-explain, we overshare, we overcompensate because, like, I know I told you no, but this is the reason why. Just learn to adopt no as a full sentence. Learn to be like, I can't do this right now, and make it at that. Like, let people feel uncomfortable, sit with the guilt. Like, why am I the only one feeling bad? Even you, like, let's share in the feeling bad. Don't over-explain your boundaries. Don't write long emotional speeches or ask for permission or even explain why I couldn't do this. Just sometimes discomfort is part of the boundary setting. It's not a sign that you're doing something wrong. So, guys, just relax. I know it feels crazy and it feels like, oh my God, I'm disappointing them again. And now when you say no, you might feel the need to be like, this time I can't, but next time I will. No, just be like, this time I can't. And let's sit with the uncomfortability. Yeah, so guys, please, you don't need long explanations and you don't need to justify your boundaries. Just build boundaries that don't need justification, okay? The other thing is create a life that's yours, not just a respectable life. Remember, we talked about having an authentic self. Remember, we talked about having your own essence, not forgetting your own essence, doing things because they nurture you, not because the society requires you to or your parents require you to. I always like to ask people, who are you before the world told you who you are? Who are you before you are someone's daughter? Who are you before you are someone's wife? Who are you before you are someone's mom? Create a life that is yours. Did you follow that career because you wanted to? Yes. Did you get 5 kids because you wanted to? Yes. Not because your husband told you to? Yes. Did you quit that job because it was burning you out? Yes. Did you choose nursing over law because it's what you wanted? Yes. You build a life that is yours, not just a life that is respectable on the outside and you're miserable. Don't, especially firstborn daughters, we've been told, like, you need to be the good one, you need to be disciplined, you need to follow a safe path, you need to follow a safe career, you need to marry when the time is right, not because that person actually values you or adds value to your life. So, guys, create a life that is yours, be your authentic self, and don't just follow societal norms and rules because they don't always apply to everyone, okay? Ask yourself, who am I when no one is watching? In regards to money, in regards to career, in regards to relationships, what do you actually want? What nurtures my essence as a human being, not as my parents' daughter, not as my kids' mom, not as my siblings' big sister, like, what does softness look like in my life? So healing as a firstborn daughter doesn't mean that you stop caring. It just means that you stop paying for love with self-abandonment. I think you need to write that in your bedroom or something. So guys, please subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be doing a series on the same because, you know, firstborn daughters, we are like, we need a group chat or something. So guys, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.